Hey guys, so in today's video, as promised, we're going to be doing another forensics problem. This is advanced potion making. So this one was actually kind of fun, kind of cool. We're going to be working with hex today. So first let's read the description. Ron just found his own copy of advanced potion making, but it's been corrupted by some kind of spell. Help him recover it. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. So let's download this file. Okay, so we have a file. So the first thing I did was boot up my my Kali to try to see if I can get any data within the file without actually opening up the hex first. But I don't really want to boot up my Kali right now, so I'm just gonna look up an online EXIF tool. And we are gonna select the file, see if we get anything. So okay, so we get this. I've actually never used this exact tool, so I'm not exactly sure what it's giving me. Yeah. Okay, I think I've used this one before. Doesn't look familiar at all. And it just like ate my file. Okay. I believe this is the one I've used before. Is it done? Okay, but anyway, the point of this is just it's pointless. Like, it isn't really gonna give me anything here. So let's boot up HXD, which I've mentioned in another video. I believe that this is a hex viewer pretty much, and you can also make changes to like the hex of the file if needed. So we know that the file is corrupted. So let's take a look at this. As we see, that's just like a bunch of just mess. Probably actual data here, and then a little bit more mess there. So the first things first is let's look at the file signature. I believe that's what it's called, the signature, right? And of course I looked it up online what the signatures are, because I'm not going to remember them from the top of my head. And I found this cool page in hacking articles by Raj Chandal. Probably butchered that, sorry man. It was actually pretty helpful because it has a lot of the file extensions. So if you didn't know, for files, let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Every file has a signature, which is usually, like, what is this? Is this 2 bytes? I think 4 bytes. I get confused how big this is, but it says 4 bytes. It's 4 to 5 bytes, and these first 4 to 5 bytes signify what kind of file it is. So as I mentioned, I believe in the last video, the file extension, I don't really want to show other files, but the file extension like .pdf, .doc, .txt, that's for the most part mostly important to the user. However, the OS mostly cares about the hex, like the actual binary, because binary, hex binary, whatever. And the actual hex of a file can have a different signature than the actual extension. So this could be a PDF, but the extension could be txt, which is why sometimes when you rename certain things, like in what do you call it, like in Windows, it doesn't load, like it's corrupted and stuff. So immediately, okay, well, it starts with 89, right? We see PNG, and I also see IHDR, gamma, and sRGB, which also makes me think, okay, this is most likely a PNG. So the first thing I do is kind of compare these first 4 bytes and see what's different. So as we see, these are different here. So I'm going to delete these last 2 bytes here and replace them with 4E and 47. For whatever reason in HXD, if I were to manually type it in, it kind of just overwrites the following ones, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. But firstly, I need to delete these two. Let's paste that. Cool. Next thing is, let's resave this. Let's rename this to a .png. It's still corrupted. Okay. So the next thing I did, oops, I renamed it. So the next thing I did was use, I guess we're gonna get Kali booted up anyway. I used this tool in Kali. Well, it's not, I think, pre-installed in Kali. I had to install it. It's called PNG check. Ooh, don't want to give out spoilers. Let me get rid of these. And let me just transfer this over. So I did PNG check. I don't remember the actual command. Yeah, there. And we get an EOF while reading data. Because the IHDR. So it's having a problem reading the IHDR. So in doing so, I kind of fell out into a little rabbit hole about the IHDR, and I found this pretty cool article on hackers hacking tutorials, parsia.net. I guess Parsia is the name of a security engineer. Oh, at EA, that's pretty cool. So yeah, they kind of laid this out. So this whole first 8 bytes signify the file signature of PNG. Cool. And next we have the length. And I was looking over a few other websites and like images of, you know, it being laid out nice and neat like this, and I noticed the length was commonly 0.0000000D. So I thought, okay, I mean, it's at least worth a try to copy that. So let's go ahead and do that. Delete this, delete that, and then cool, that should be good. Let's open that up again. And okay, cool, we're getting somewhere. We see a red solid block. Not really good, but we're getting somewhere, right? Also, sorry if there's any background noise. I usually record in the night, but I have some free time, so I decided to do it in the day, and it could be a little noisy, especially with a dog. So sorry about that. Anyway, let's continue. So the next thing I was thinking, okay, this definitely looks like a bunch of just garbage, right? So, I mean, it's worth a try to just remove it. So let's find where it starts. It's here at, well, this KXK is a little different, so I decided to start, you know what, let's just do it here. Let's just get rid of this and see what happens. And let's delete it up to this dot right here, because as you can see it's repeating, so might as well just get rid of it, see what happens. Let's save that again. Let's open that file, and boom, this is the flag. I mean, clearly it's the entire flag. Sure, it's not entirely like formatted right. I mean, we could probably mess with the color, maybe the size, but yeah, definitely a little bit more hex manipulation to get a clean flag probably, but frankly I don't really care about that. As you see, it's PicoCTF and then bracket wizardry. Looks like a W. This is where I got a little stuck on. I couldn't really tell. Oh, I'm sorry guys, I just realized I was not zooming in at all. I'll walk through it again just real quick. But yeah, PicoCTF W, skip that for now, Z 4 RD RY. So I thought this was an I, then an L, and then I realized it's a 1. Very poorly made 1, but it's a 1. And that's actually the answer to this challenge. So again, just gonna quickly walk through it because I do realize I didn't zoom in. Poor me. Okay, let me see if I can zoom into this. Maybe unless I could take also I could also take a screenshot and just zoom in there. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can zoom in. Yeah, no. Okay, screenshot it is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Still learning. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, cool. So the first thing I did in this challenge was view the hex. I wanted to take a look at the first few bytes to see if I can identify any signature, because it was corrupted. I looked at these first 2 bytes and quickly identified its PNG. Another reason why I thought it was PNG as well, how do I scroll, was because it did have IHDR, sRGB, gamma, which really just had me thinking, okay, it's at least some sort of image, but just looking at these and the rest of the signature, most likely PNG. Sure enough, it was. Then the next part of this challenge was, I guess, to really just identify all this mess going on right here. All I did in the hex was just remove it. I'm sorry, that was actually the last step. The second step was the IHDR. It has it has chunks. They're called chunks. So the first chunk is kind of the signature, the length, the chunk type, IHDR, which is, you know, what pertains to this challenge. I'm sorry, this is the chunk data, and then I forget what this is, but I did notice, I did notice in other like images that I looked up online that the length, can I erase this? That the length was very odd and different, so I just decided to copy all the other images. So just from changing the signature and IHDR length, we got a solid red block, and then, as I mentioned, removing all this mess here gave us our flag. And yeah, thank you for watching. Insert YouTuber thing, outro thing, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you, guys.